that today still inspires both men and women to be strong, courageous, and know that the sky is the limit when it comes to dreams. It was July 24th, 1897, when America's greatest female aviator was born. It was 6 years later when the Wright brothers created the first airplane. It was then the dream of aviation was born.
Aviation was new and unpopular at the time because it needed a lot of safety improvements considering its high fatality count. Aviation was especially unrealistic for women to join because it was considered a man's activity. Though frowned upon, some women took the risk, including Amelia Earhart.
June 18th, 1928 would be the day everything would change for Amelia Earhart. She'd be offered the chance of a lifetime, the chance to fly across the Atlantic, and be the first woman to ever do it. Amelia's entire life would change just because of this call.
Hello, I'm quite busy. What do you need? Why, yes, this is she. I would be honored to travel across the Atlantic Ocean with you and your partner. When do we take off? A week from today? Alrighty then, you'll see me there. My golly, am I so excited. I can't believe my dream of flying is finally coming true. This will definitely jumpstart my career. I've got to go get my supplies.
Today is the day Amelia's career is about to take off. And what she didn't know was just how famous she'd become, just by flying as a passenger.
The friendship flight has landed in Wales, making Amelia Earhart the first woman to fly across the Atlantic. Congratulations, Miss Earhart, on completing the friendship flight. Why, thank you. What did your mother say when she found out you flew across the Atlantic?
She sent a telegram congratulating me and says next time she wants to sit beside me in the cockpit.
What was it like to fly over the ocean? Were you scared?
When I looked out at the sea, it seemed much like the sky to me, as if the sky and the sea were the same. Felt much as I do when I'm flying upward toward the sun, transported somehow to a safe, simple, beautiful place where everything is comprehensible.
What was it like to fly with Wilbur Stoltz and Louis Gordon?
Stoltz did all the flying, had to. I was baggage like a sack of potatoes.
What do you plan to do next?
I plan to fly across the Atlantic again, this time solo, to prove that I deserve at least the smallest fraction of the nice things said about me. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Amelia Earhart, the only woman to fly across the Atlantic, just constantly keep her feet on the ground. Her publisher, George Putnam, had just commissioned her to write a book on her flying adventures.
Amelia would later go on to write 3 autobiographies. They were titled The Fun of It, 20 Hours, 40 Minutes, and The Last Flight. All 3 of these books became very successful. In 1932, Amelia Earhart was the first person to fly across the Atlantic in 14 hours and 56 minutes.
Later, 1932, Amelia did her first transcontinental flight, flying non-stop, coast to coast. She set women's non-stop transcontinental speed record, flying the 2,447.8-mile flight in 19 hours and 5 minutes. Then, in 1933, she broke her previous transcontinental record, flying the same flight in 17 hours and 7 minutes.
In 1935, Amelia Earhart was the first person to fly the 2,408-mile distance from Honolulu to Oakland, California. 1935 is her year. She was the first person to fly from Los Angeles to Mexico City in 13 hours and 23 minutes. Here's Miss Earhart now writing her famous letter to President Roosevelt, asking permission to fly around the world.
Man, I hope that Mr. Roosevelt will accept my request. I really want to prove to everyone that I have one last flight in me, especially to my sister Muriel. Muriel feels that it's time to end the career and secure my safety. What a nut. If all goes well, this flight should not only help my career, but should help inspire future generations of female aviators that they can do incredible things with their dreams.
Roosevelt responded with a big yes. It was generally considered First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt had some influence in this matter, considering they were very good friends.
Amelia was so excited, she couldn't sit still. Over the next year, Amelia did her first trial of the world flight. She crashed her plane, the Electra, on the runway. This set her back a couple months due to raising funds to fly and costs for repairs.
Where do you plan to go? We plan to take off from Oakland, California, with many stops throughout the U.S. and land in Miami. From Miami to South America to Africa, Africa to India, India to Indonesia, Indonesia to Australia, Australia to New Guinea, New Guinea all the way to Howland Island, from Howland Island to Hawaii, Hawaii to Oakland, California, the finish line.
Amelia, are you sure you still want to go to Howland Island? I can still get you lessons on mid-flight fuel changes.
Why are you so reluctant to go into the Howland Islands?
Trying to find Howland Island is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Nearly impossible.
Well, if this Howland Island is so hard to get to, how do you plan on getting there, Amelia?
I have hired the best celestial navigator around, Fred Noonan, that's how.
So, Amelia, why are you so intent on making this trip?
Because I feel after this adventure, I will accomplish every possible flight in my career that I thought I could. I set a precedent for men to finally start respecting female aviators.
Amelia, when do you take off again?
I did take off on June 1st, 1937, and return on July 11th the same month.
Why'd you start flying anyways?
Well, isn't it obvious? I fly for the fun of it, the taste of adventure.
Amelia Earhart. This is on top of the equator. It's K-H-A-Q-Q. I have no feel left.
This was a tragic time for all U.S. citizens. Their Lady Lindy, Angel of the Air, was lost forever. People didn't give up hope, though. The search was the largest and most expensive search for any U.S. citizen. But from that day forward, Amelia was never heard from again. But she was never forgotten, especially by young female aviator, Eleanor Smith. She was just 17 at the time, and Amelia was her biggest inspiration.
Oh, Amelia, we all miss you so much right now. Hello? What? Somebody already accomplished the Mississippi flight? Oh, now of course I can't do it and beat their record. Call it off. What would Amelia say? She'd say that advice she gave me a few years back. She said,
If I listened to everyone who said it was impossible for females to fly, I wouldn't have been flying. Don't listen to what they say. If they try to get you down, turn around and walk away. Remember, do it for the fun of it, for the taste of adventure.
hello, sir, it's Eleanor Smith. I want to do the Mississippi flight. I don't care if someone's already accomplished it. I can do it better. Sir, Amelia gave me some advice a few years ago. And this advice will stay with me for as long as I live, so I will be doing that flight.
That advice indeed lasted for generations to come. Eleanor spoke 70 years later at the grand opening of the Amelia Earhart Birthplace Museum, where she would tell how Amelia's advice impacted her and her life story. And that is how Amelia impacted my life. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words. Hello, and welcome to the opening of the Birthplace Museum for a beautiful, influential woman named Amelia Earhart. Not only did this amazing woman break down many barriers for female equality and aviation, but has been an influence for both men and women alike. Like I have told many, I'm here today to tell you the story of how Amelia impacted my life and my career. She gave me some advice about 73 years ago. She said to never give up on my dreams and to ignore the people that get in the way, that I should do it for the fun of it. And now I get to pass down that advice to you. Thank you. And now the president of the 99s.
Thank you, Eleanor. We, the 99s, Inc., and the citizens of Ashland, Kansas, dedicate this Amelia Earhart Birthplace Museum to this generation and future generations as a museum. We will continue to preserve and restore the home to the period when Amelia lived here, and to portray her life and those of other female aviators through educational and interpretive activities, events, and exhibits. Thank you all for coming and celebrating the life of Amelia. Thank you.
Amelia didn't just inspire Eleanor, but many more. The 99s Corporation is still active today, sharing her life story, inspiring both girls and boys to follow their dreams. Amelia was not just an inspiration, but a leader to all, young or old. She showed that females are just as strong as men. Her records may be beaten, but her legacy will live on forever. Long live
Amelia Earhart, Queen of the Air.